Hey there, chain bangers. You are tuned into the OTB Discs YouTube channel. I am your host, Greggy Biscuits. This is Morning Round. It's a morning round in the afternoon.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Salute.
We are excited to have two special guests here in the studio. Jenny Umstead.
Hello.
Patrick Brown.
Hello.
Team OTB. Stanley's handling things on the ones and twos. Thanks, Stanley. Welcome to Stockton.
Thank you.
Yep. This is when all the explosions go off.
Yeah.
Okay. Very exciting.
Knuckles.
Reggaeton noises.
Gotcha.
But yeah, seriously, welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Nice to have you here.
Yeah, happy to be here.
We're lucky we get to kind of bump into each other from time to time.
It's always a good familiar face to see you.
I'm one of the inmates that gets let out periodically and roams the country.
Yes.
until my battery runs out and I have
Yeah.
to come back to charge back up at the
Yeah.
mothership.
It gets
Yeah.
tiresome out there.
It
No
is.
matter what you're doing.
It's a long road, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It is a long road, isn't it? Now, Jenny, how long has the road for you now been officially?
Officially on the road. I think this is year 3.
Yeah.
I have to say, yeah. It originated COVID wise. I was actually got my degree in clinical psychology. And then I was working up in Roseville at a high-end 30-day rehab. I was the director of intake coordination, which was very high stress. And then, COVID hit and we had to shut down the house and I was just playing disc golf. I moved back to Santa Cruz and I was living on the beach with my brother. Yeah, we couldn't go to the beach. It was closed from 9 to 5. We couldn't go. Santa Cruz.
Freedom.
Santa Cruz was absolutely shut down. You could barely leave
People
your house.
had a lot of respect for that rope that they put up
Yeah.
at the beach. It's like, wow, well,
It was
closed.
$1,000 fine.
Yeah, they weren't
Like,
messing around.
Yeah, and I was not even a block from it. I was like 8 houses from it, and I got to watch it. So I ran into Shasta Chris. Love my friend Shasta Chris.
Shout out Shasta.
Yeah, and he was saying, "Hey,
Shasta.
I'm about to leave for tour," and I went, "That's a beautiful idea." And so I took my Subaru and I built a bed box for it, and I bought camping gear, and I wanted to go on hikes and national parks and play disc golf along the way, and yeah, that's what I did, and ran into this hot guy over here, Patrick Brown, and turned into a longer adventure, pretty much.
So, but who put the first disc? Your brother gave you your first?
No,
First
I
disc?
mean, if you want to go all the way back, I had played random rounds at De La maybe 18 years ago.
Because again,
You
being
know.
in the Santa Cruz area.
Yeah,
it's
and
just
it was,
about-
I was horrible. I had 1 disc. It was more to go drink beer and hang out. And then I lived in Santa Barbara, and there was, of course, Goleta.
Love Goleta. Shout out
Yeah.
Goleta.
It was in my
Love
backyard, and it was, after work, we would just take 1 disc, and it was just, let's go drink beer and walk around. So I don't really count those because I
Evergreen Park.
yeah, I was horrible as well. Yes. And then I was absolutely horrible. Yeah. And then I actually, it all kind of originated. My friend Heath, who I love very much, he lived on a property with the Hardings, which everyone knows it is Hardings Ranch in Santa Cruz. And they had their own private course. And I went out there to visit him. And Rob Harding taught me sidearm. Played 1 round there. And then
Shout out, Rob.
heck yeah. And then here comes another shout out. Then about a week later, they invited me to play at Black Mouse. If anyone's ever played
Harding's
there.
Ranch still in operation now? No,
it's
been
kind of
shut down,
changed.
right?
It used
Yeah.
to be before Masters Cup. It was like everyone camped there. It
Mm.
was tons of fun. And it kind of, people grew up, lives changed.
Sure.
Miles had kids. Mom moved back to the property. It was like, yeah, so it's changed a lot. But
I actually played a 24-hour Lance Armstrong marathon, and it had 2 rounds of De La back to back, and then you went to their property and you played till 9 the next morning. Only 10 people made it. It was sick.
wow, I can imagine you definitely being the ones that made it.
So
Yeah.
it was, and then it was determined by score at that point, whoever survived.
Yeah, that wasn't by score. There was just at the end, there was a prize. It was a full basket, like a brand new basket. So the last 10 guys had to like get into a raffle or something. Like you signed something and
That
they
was the
picked it,
qualifier.
and they picked it down. And I was the second to last to win the basket.
We used to be
but it was-
ingenious back in the day. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, 10, 12, 15 years ago, disc golf used to be really fun. We had all kinds of, big campground things and big SUR tournaments.
It
And
wasn't a business then.
it was not a
so,
business. It was friends drinking beer, hanging out, throwing frisbees
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no. Yeah, back to my journey.
Yeah.
Where was I on my journey?
Ooh.
I was at the Harding Ranch.
Yeah.
Harding Ranch.
And then I got
We
invited.
just got into the ranch.
I got invited to Black Mouse, and there was a crew of people at Black Mouse after work every day,
Yeah.
5 to 10 of us.
Epic
and
course. Got to check out Black Mouse. if you
yeah,
haven't
and I
done
got
it.
invited
Super
there, and my friend Heath was beatboxing and
Oh.
giving me a beat. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I threw backhand for the first time, and I aced.
Oh, she aced her first
One
shot
for
ever.
one.
Yeah.
1 for 1 backhand throws on a course, not just standing
All
in
right.
some place.
At
No.
Black Mouse.
Yeah.
At
Which
Black
hole?
Mouse.
It was I think it
What,
used
16?
to be no,
Oh, the
it's
what,
the
downhill?
it's the downhill hyzer, the little shorty one.
Oh.
I think I threw a beast.
Still,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
you ace.
That's
It was
amazing.
really cool. It was really cool. And,
That'll jazz you up for a little more disc golf.
yeah, and it was the first time I met 2 of my best friends, Jenna and Joe,
Oh,
and they
no
were like, "Who is
kidding.
this chick?"
No
And
kidding.
yeah, and everyone gave me money.
I
I
don't
had
even think
no
I knew that
idea.
part.
I had no clue why they were giving me $5 each. I had no idea. But
Mhm.
I went to play it against sports after that and bought a little side Innova bag, like the little strappies. And yeah, I went from there. I
Shout
had my
out
one
Innova.
disc, and it was a good time. But yeah,
Every
that
time
kind of
there's a company, we have to do a shout out.
yeah. That's it.
Mine or hers, doesn't matter. OTB covers them all.
I
We
think we
got you.
Yeah, and we get a nickel every time we mention
Yeah.
any company.
We got you. So colors, color, weight, everything you need.
Size and weight.
Yeah,
Come on.
size.
We got them.
Wide diameter, small diameter.
Yep.
We got you.
Yeah.
All the-
So
all the
yeah, that was
variations.
kind of my journey, and that whole crew of people. They all, they finally invited me. Hey, come to this tournament, and we all get to camp and drink beer. And I remember my first tournament. This is another shout out. It was here in Stockton,
Okay. So
Yeah.
here we go.
and I think Becky Terrell was the TD. And I walked up, and I remember Roger Chancellor was on my card when we used to do mixed cards.
This is like around COVID times.
No,
This is in the early times.
yeah, this
Yeah.
is 2007, maybe
Yeah.
2008.
Yeah, this is still in those Nan cent days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I walked up to my hole with a Coors Light in my hand, and I don't know, and I just walked straight up, and
Almost got one.
and Becky came up and said, "You can't drink during the tournament." And I went, "What? What are you guys doing out here then?"
She is 9 years sober now.
Yeah,
Just to
10
put
almost
that in
10.
there. Almost 10.
yes.
That's 9 years.
But I played
Those
disc
are
golf
not
and I
10
drank
yet.
beer. It was a good time. And then
No,
somehow,
who doesn't?
yeah,
except for sober
somehow,
people.
apparently not at tournaments.
Well, now it's D class tournaments. So we'll see what happens there.
Right. We're still waiting on the 420 class tournaments. That's,
See,
that's,
yeah.
that's how we like to usually do
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
just don't make it sanctioned. There's plenty of those.
Strong Johns.
Yeah,
You gotta shout out.
back
to
in the
Strong
day,
John.
Browns and Bows used to do it for you won a huge pot plant, and everyone had to take bong rips on the first and second and third.
Fully budding.
Yeah,
Shout out
Yes.
Discs and Dabs.
yes,
Disc and dabs
Disc
for
and
sure.
dabs.
Shout out Browns and Bows.
Yeah.
Awesome place to go. If you want to camp and play disc golf and get really into NorCal, that is
Browns and
that
Bows
is on
is
the
awesome.
list.
it's
Yeah.
beautiful. But yeah, so from there, kind of just I played
Okay.
tournaments. I never really got that
So
good, but
There
you
was
know,
the early seed was planted.
Yes.
And then later you just sort of
Yeah,
embraced it and then
yeah.
became,
I
Unless
played
you got a
disc golf.
coach.
pretty badass.
Yes, I played disc golf for the social aspect for friends, and
Yeah.
it was just I played all the Poppy series,
Nice.
KK, and those girls
Well,
do an
she ran
amazing
a women's
series. I
event.
won. I started De La Divas, and it was just about fun and friends. And then it kind of turned a little bit more serious. It was I actually started a company called Am for Life because I was really fighting that whole pro thing,
Okay.
and then I became that. So
You became the thing.
here
if you will.
I am.
You are the thing.
A little bit longer on the road for PB.
Yeah, a little bit.
Was this the 14th year?
This is 14th year playing pro
Right.
disc golf. 20 years leaving the neighborhood and heading out on adventures and all that, which started with one KOA visit for Willits.
Mhm.
And it got me addicted because at first I was like, I don't want to play with other people. I want to play with my friends. I don't want to play for competition. I want to play for aces. I
Mhm.
want to play for best shot, best putt, only the best, right?
That's right.
OTB, baby. So,
It was-
that's where
the
I
foundation
came
was
from on
clear.
this. I still don't even like tournaments. So it's just a job for me at this point right now. Like just go play disc golf and do the best you can.
And so then again, you turned pro age 40.
Yeah.
So a little bit later than most in the game.
Yeah.
But it was like about 6 years in at that point, or
4 years in at that
4
point.
years in at that point.
I'd
Okay.
played in the 80s, Peace Park. Shout out to Joel Mick, first guy to ever show me disc golf. He's a
First,
skater.
okay, what was the first disc? Because it's pretty far back.
My first disc is a Cobra. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's just this cat that I ended up hooking up because of skateboarding. And so all the skaters would get hurt. And so we'd take days off to go play disc golf. And it was cooler rounds in Texas because, it's hot. So we just did cooler rounds at Pease Park. And then as me and this guy, Joel, we did some pool work. We would head out to different places for lunch if we were in the location we were working.
So this is skateboarding pool work, or are you actually working on pools?
Working on pools, some pools that we skated, revamped them, stuff like that. Yeah, they would let us drain them before we retextured all that. So we got sessions in. So it just was a job I was compelled to do, even though it was hard as hell in Texas. But this guy just was like, bro, you should try this. And so disc golf started like 88, 89. I remember Disc Nation. Shout out Disc Nation back in Texas.
Way back.
Not against OB in any way, but OTB, excuse me. But
you got love for Disc Nation.
Yeah. Everybody promoting the game is what we're all about, right? So we just carry only the best. But this guy would, just get me to go. And so I was like, oh, this is cool. I just had no idea about PDGA. And you had no idea about doubles competition, anything like that. So, yeah, it was just the start of the adventure. But I skipped it for about 10 years just because of the skating tour.
Yeah, so let's back it up a little bit for the folks who might not know the kind of origin story. Before you were, a dominant disc golf athlete, you were a skateboarder and a surfer.
Yeah.
So
BMX.
Talk about the surfing a little bit.
Surfing was really fun, but that was just super early on because my sister was a surfer.
Growing up Galveston, right?
No, Corpus Christi, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had Port Aransas. We had, that takes me so far back. Port Isabel, stuff like that. So depending on which tornadoes or hurricanes or whatever were in the Gulf sending waves our way, we just traveled to different spots. I actually didn't like competition in that either because, I'm a free surfer, free discer. So I just fell into it with some friends and it just carried on. And then that took me into skating sponsorship, surf sponsorship, which, led me to my friends in Austin, which brought me to disc golf. So
super cool. So what was the first disc golf course you played?
Wow, Pease Park, Austin, Texas.
That's
Rest
awesome.
in peace.
I don't think I've played that one.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it's Rest in Peace because it's not Pease Park, but it was a beautiful track. Even to this day, I remember there was every angle of every hole. It wasn't on a track with 666 or anything like that where you went hyzer, anhyzer, straight shot. It had a mixture of everything. It was a beautiful course. It was just in central Austin, right by the college. So it just got overtaken. Other things.
The land got bought up. Yeah.
But there's plenty of golf there. Roy G, Circle C, Zilker. Old Settlers now. John Houck. Shout out to John Houck for making some really awesome courses and get us out of the sun and put us into the shade. So that was cool.
Yeah, I love disc golf in the Austin area. Definitely
a lot of golf.
I got to play Roy G for the first time on this trip back in the spring. And wow,
a good track.
I heard they just did a little redesign of it too, which was well received. So that's nice to hear.
There's going to be a redesign of the 18 on this side of the creek, but there'll be a 9 on the other side of the creek, which will be perfect warm up before like an actual tournament starts. So you have 9 holes to play, and then come over and play the 18 holes that'll be in the tournament. So I'm really digging that.
His name's escaping me right now. The designer, Mike something.
He's in my phone. I know. I wish I could give him shout outs.
But also designing the new Mint Discs course.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
That property.
I'm excited for women's nationals that's coming out there next year.
Yeah, the Mustang from Mint. But women's nationals is going to be sick. I saw some of the holes. I went to the new headquarters. Really nice.
Shout out to Zach and Guy doing big things at Mint.
Zach and Guy are definitely doing big things.
That course and that whole property is going to be a very special place for disc golf here in the coming years.
They got some awesome plastic. Low arm speed, fast arm speed. If you haven't put a Mustang in your hand,
you should try it for sure.
It's such a
and
good
OTB
disc.
has some for you. So.
The PB Mustang's getting ready to get upgraded into the old bag.
Oh yeah,
like
it's
the Des,
such a
rest
good
in
disc.
peace. I was down in LA last weekend playing a little new course. Put it on a little too much Annie. A little too much glide. Bad spot. So the rotation happens. Here we go. Time for the PB swirly to come out.
Can we have a moment of silence?
Yeah.
One Mustang lost.
Oh.
try the disc. They're great people, good guys. And I'm telling you, when you go see their new headquarters, and I saw some of the holes that were sculpted out, and they have crazy amount of
super thick woods,
yardage out there, tight woods, beautiful layout. I'm really looking forward to getting back this off season and checking out their stuff. I like working with those guys a lot. I have a co-sponsorship with them. So I really, really appreciate those guys a lot.
I might be mistaken, but I feel like I was talking to Jay Redding about it. Him and Des are going to be kind of some of the head of the U.S. women's, but I feel like the Mint is I feel like it was going to be the main
sponsor,
like not just sponsor,
Spoiler
but like that's
alert.
kind of our
That's right. You heard it here first on the Morning Round podcast with Greggy Biscuits.
I don't know
breaking
these
news with
things.
Jenny Umstead.
Don't quote her.
Don't quote me. But I feel like I read that course is going to be used.
We got to leave that.
Yeah.
No, the course is definitely going to be used.
I feel like, but it's going to be kind of the headquarters of U.S. Women's.
Oh, great.
I might be
That's
totally
a super
wrong.
good idea. I think they should.
Totally wrong. But
because you have Austin Beer Works on site.
Yeah.
With the new Mint Discs warehouse and pro shop and vault. So if you haven't checked out the vault, go check out the
look
vault.
online, check out the vault for sure. Good people, great course, great location. I mean, I went there and in the grassroots, I saw the holes they were carving out. Quality. They know Zach is a freaking bomber. Guy knows how to play disc golf.
Yeah, he's got power.
That's how it is. Yes, it's good. It's going to be good.
They've got
Plus, if you figure out a one location the way the U.S. Masters used to be at La Mirada, and you could go and know what you're coming to, everybody's well practiced. It's really about who executes the best, not who can endure the most heat, who can endure the most elevation, who can endure the longevity. Because, everything's a triathlon type thing, but it's like really, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You need to go out there. You need to pace yourself. You need to set realistic, settings for you, like what holes are yours and what holes are just play through, which sometimes playing safe can lead to bad shots.
I mean, unlike NorCal golf where they make you play 227s in one day.
I actually dug it. I love the endurance test.
It was,
let's jump back to the present real quick before we talk a little bit more about Texas disc golf. What happened this weekend, y'all?
Oh, well,
murder scene.
Laid waste.
I felt comfortable. She felt comfortable. We just spent 12 hours at Flagstaff. We're
coming off the Tahoe Pro-Am.
Tahoe Pro-Am. We're just driving home from it.
We did 12 days at Flagstaff. We wanted redemption on elevation golf. I lagged a little bit. She had a really hot round to make finals.
Yeah, we'll talk about Worlds.
Okay,
that's right. So
we're
Worlds
going
was
total rewind.
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now.
3 weeks
ago,
3 weeks ago.
I've been haunted.
Yeah, it's taken that long for him to come back to get over.
I mean, when you have one chance at something every year, it takes a little while to get over that chance that you were setting yourself up to prevail at. So I've been working at this like back to where we were before on the tour start. I'm 14 years into the tour. Like a ton of these people haven't even been there that long. I mean, I remember seeing Paul Macbeth when he was 16, Ulibarri when he was like 16 or 17. I mean, these kids are growing, the game's growing. I'm growing with it too. I'm not staying behind just because of age. Like we all can grow. There's no limits. The disc doesn't know your age. You just need to spin it. So like to go back to Bijou is just recapping like, early NorCal years for me going into NorCal, California, and then also going on the tour, the NorCal series, and trying to compete.
It used to be huge back in the day, the NorCal series.
Oh yeah, it was tough. Like you weren't just signing up for open unless you were ready to go because there was no joke. Yeah, even now in the days I played with players this weekend, they had tons of game. It's just they have the endurance, so they have the same stamina to just hold on for 27 and then go to lunch and come back for another 27 and not even an easy set. They went like mean. They had some mean holes.
Just deep. I've never seen some of the whole positions out there, and I'm like, par 3, really? 495 through the woods,
but through a tunnel, low ceiling.
The
whole thing. So
it was brutal.
Bijou was good this weekend. We murdered it. We definitely came.
Couples chip. Let's go.
Yeah.
They both won, y'all. That's what
that's
what we're dancing around. They both got the dub.
I think Patrick led he led your field by
I beat the field by 9,
and then so a slightly different layout than the MPO. I didn't see your
no, all the same.
I'm saying so you had the best score overall, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody.
He sweeped it by 9.
I just couldn't get in open because there was an 8-person wait list when we realized we were going to be in town for this.
Right.
And we also were like realizing like let's go back to elevation because we love Tahoe. Shout out to Jen Morgan for setting us up
Love
with
you,
her
Jen.
mom and Princess Leia, the dog.
So cute.
Great weekend up in Incline. The travels, be careful when you go there. So the travels can be treacherous. But we got through it. We almost turned around the first day. Literally, our time went from we're going to be there at 7:45 to we're going to be there at 8:45, and the tournament starts at 9. We're stuck behind cars for miles because they all want to go to one beach. What's that beach?
My favorite, Sandy Point. My favorite, Patrick, the whole time. No, I could just go play Zephyr right now. Like, let's just go. Let's turn around.
This tournament.
Let's go to Zephyr. We'll just go to the beach. And I'm like, no, we're gonna. I came up here to play with my friends.
I actually offered to pay her back.
He did.
Her
4 or 5 times.
Because I'm like, I did not want to be this stressed, showing up last second, getting out of the car, trying to perform. I'm getting a little older, so I'm starting to respect that. Like, the body is not ready for jump out throws.
Yep.
It was amazing. Yeah. I really had to talk to you, and I'm glad I did because you
talked him down. I'm glad you did too.
Yeah,
no, it was crazy, Greg. We were just sitting, just
watching the clock tick away.
The clock just add up,
and like, not moving.
8:45 time,
8:49.
Yeah,
9 o'clock. We're like, well, we can't even make it.
Yeah,
like, and then it opened up, but it was literally.
It was pretty bad.
I feel so bad for the people of Tahoe and between Incline and stuff with the tourists. Like, when you go there, please pack your trash, be civilized.
Yeah,
like,
be respectful.
Think that other people
but
live
what it
there.
is so there's this really cool beach and they open the gates at 7, right?
So everyone's waiting.
7 a.m.
Everyone's stacked up.
But there's no side anything. Right. So literally they just stop the road and just let it pile out.
It's like a disc golf tournament.
Yeah. And that's it. You just have to sit there. It was bad.
Times
but
many.
Once we got there, took a couple deep breaths and started playing. It was so nice because we knew our bags. We had our bag set up because we had just come from Worlds, which was almost one and the same with Bijou. And so, you just know your bags and you kind of like, we've been playing Bijou for years because I've done
so nice.
I've been playing Bijou for like 20 years. I haven't been there in about 5, but I've been there before for sure.
Yeah. And so we just kind of, it was.
I love it. It's woods golf. It's lines.
Right,
you can't just hug and chuck.
The Tahoe courses have to be my favorite Northern California courses. Like, obviously I have a special spot for Golden Gate, special spot for De La.
Yeah.
But
Tahoe, those are so different.
Yeah, but the Tahoe courses, like you said, Zephyr.
It's mountain golf.
Like Bijou can be stretched to be a
rest in peace, Turtle Rock.
Yeah, Turtle Rock. Those courses, Sierra College, those courses can be stretched to championship.
Yeah.
San Francisco cannot be stretched to championship.
No.
Orangevale, certain courses are within their parameters. The space that they were put in, it's tough. Those other courses like Bijou this weekend had holes I'd never seen,
right?
And they were brutal
and challenging, right?
Long, challenging, brutal. Like, you need to hit lines or you're not going to score.
And hit lines far.
I shredded that part because of the Pro Tour, because of like how much you need to throw the first shot and the second shot to have an easy third drop in or putt. I give it out to them. Shout out to Bijou, the whole club there. They did a great job. They got all of us through before dark with 2 rounds of 27 and a decent lunch break, not like a 50-minute rush lunch break. They pushed the limits.
Did you notice on your second round with about 10 holes left to go, were you guys very talkative?
We were for sure.
Were you?
Yeah.
I don't think we said a word.
No,
the last like 12 holes.
That's one thing we were so beat.
We were just
shoot good this weekend was like there was a ton of camaraderie.
Yeah.
Didn't want to pronounce it wrong. So there was a ton between the people. Like, we just had jokes. Like, I had this one dude. What's the guy next to me that was super good?
Oh, you're talking about Rob?
Rob. Yeah, this guy Rob. So funny, so cool. We had jokes the whole time. I literally had him crying. We were making so much.
He's such a good guy.
Shit.
Yeah.
Super good people. That just made the tournament. Not that it's bad on the Pro Tour, but people are just being so much more competitive because they're like working for a living. I've been doing that for a long time. So she's helped me with my mindset to change about that, a big part of that out of your work zone. Like, you got to relax still at work. You can't just be tense and stressed the whole time. But I don't get to live and survive if I don't manifest, you know what I mean? Which I can practice all week. I can practice all week perfectly. I go into tournament, don't perform perfectly. I don't get paid. So it's that part for me is a different pressure for sure. Cause a lot of, all these older guys I play with, like, we have real jobs, like, you're a disc golfer for life. Like, you need to perform or you're going to suffer right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Luckily with everybody supporting me, shout out to OTB and everybody supports me and makes this happen, but it's real. It's a real thing to like have to visualize. And so she's helped me a lot with like losing that vision. And just like this weekend was like, just go out and just play. Just
yeah. I mean,
happens.
there's something about being on tour, and I love the women on tour, but there's just energy wise and everything. It is very rare. At Worlds, I did have one card and I was so excited with those women because we just had so much fun, but it's rare. I mean, a lot of the time the women don't speak to each other. The women, I mean, we do, competitive. We're cordial, but at the core of it, it's, you know, it's really this, you can feel the competitiveness coming through it, you know, this kind of like,
we all feel the energy,
but yeah, you know what I mean? But when you come back to, you know, your kind of area and a B tier and, you know, you're just there to have fun and hang out. And if you're
just trying to survive the first day,
it's insane. I mean, because like I said, I have a degree in clinical psychology, so I'm constantly breaking down sports psychology and what's going on and like, you know, analyzing what happened at this tournament or that tournament.
And then she deals with me.
And I try really hard.
Her prize patient.
It's really interesting what happens when you really truthfully just let go and play. Like you did this weekend. You just, you know, you take that pressure off. You don't have these, I don't know, you just go out and play and it's fun.
Got into your flow and
it's crazy what your body mind can do, you know, just a little bit of focus and
stopping all negative thoughts and just my biggest thing is breathe, believe, battle. You need to breathe before every shot. You need to believe in every shot, and you have to battle the outcome of every shot because you already threw it, right? So we're stuck out there. You have to go. So a friend of mine, Sean Scrooby, shout out Sean. He's a professional basketball player, and I taught him to be a professional disc golfer in 1 year. 5 lessons, and this guy worked so hard that he went out and he beat me. He beat people at tournaments. And I was just like so proud of him. But he taught me the 3 B's. It's not, you know, beer, bongs, and boobs or whatever. It's breathe.
We're gonna fact check that.
A little bit of boobs. I think there's a little bit of boobs.
So we go to breathe before
believe.
every shot, believe in every shot because you've practiced with that disc for the shot you're trying to put it on and battle the outcome no matter what, because that's all we're out there to do is just keep
boobs.
I like the battle because I feel like the first 2 come up in a lot of kind of concepts, but you're saying is like be okay with the outcome and don't overreact.
Yeah,
right?
if you're long, if you're short, if you're whatever, you have to battle the outcome because you threw the shot. You put yourself in that scenario, whether the wind helped or didn't help or the rain or whatever, because there is a lot of that in our sport. We're playing left to right. We're not playing up and down like golf. And you have to battle the outcome of what you put in front of yourself. So like sometimes you're like, I threw it long or I left it short. That sets you up for a bad scenario for the next shot. But if you're like, hey, this is the putt or the shot I have next.
Well, I feel like what that battle also does is when you're in the positive mindset, you're going into your next shot with the more positive framework, right? Because I have all these people who I play with, and as soon as they walk to the putting green, oh, I'm going to miss this.
That's the worst thing
don't ever think that.
Don't ever think you're going
right?
Because once you introduce that concept,
most people don't look at it as like it's the next opportunity. So that's how you battle out of the scenario you're in. Is this is the next opportunity.
So to piggyback on that real quick, because of shout out to Black Mouse, back to Black Mouse. It's just such technical little golf.
Sure.
So if I do get off the fairway, hit a tree, whatever, in my mind, I instantly think, all right, and it's scramble mode. You know what I mean? It like I get excited about it. I'm like, I'm going to pull out a thumber or a forehand roller or something weird or a baby gap to hit yeah. And so it's like it's almost fun because you're going to be able to create a cool shot after that. So for me, when I tack a tree or something like that, I almost get a little bit excited. I'm like, all right, this will be interesting. Let's do it. You know, to keep that positivity. But that's because my mind goes to that. I for the most part, I really can pull it.
It's definitely like next opportunity, next adventure. But a lot of people get up there and like, I left it short. That puts a heavy burden on your shoulders of like, the putt's bigger than it is. You know what I mean? Or I went long.
It was supposed to be something different.
Yeah. Where what you should be doing is either you see you left it short or you left it long and instantly you're like, all right,
what's next?
It's just like, oh no.
What do I always say? Fun putt.
Fun putt.
Fun putt. Meaning like you get to
like
make
to
a big
think of it
putt.
more as like assessing, just assess the next situation, the next adventure. Like this is an opportunity. You have an opportunity to make a big putt.
Yeah. Fun putt.
You know what I mean? So it just gives you opportunity. So
yeah.
Shout out to Sean for the 3 actual B's. Anyway, So back to tour, yeah. 40, feel like, 40 was easy, 50 was okay, about to be 55. You're feeling the challenges of the body. I still can like pop off, but can I pop off for 5 rounds, 4 rounds, 3 rounds? I feel this weekend gave me a good opportunity to see that you have to play with confidence. PWC Legacy, big shout out. Thanks to the family for loving me. We are shouting
out like crazy today.
I think this is the record number of shout outs.
It is, or the number of times that we've even said shout out.
We got love for a lot of people.
Before we started, I told you every company's got to get a shout out.
I will send a disc to somebody if they can count them.
The Ricos have been extremely awesome to me. They have great plastic, great line shots for me, and it works well into my bag. They've supported me through the years. I actually won my first tournament in 2005 on the Big Island at the Big Island Open with Steve Rico. He also won. Valerie Drinkins won.
And Steve was down there in Flagstaff, right?
Steve was in Flagstaff. He got 5th. Yunker got in there. We had everybody into the top 50 first and through Open. Stu, Sean Black, me and Geoff took Jared Dog, shout out. You don't like it? It's gonna happen.
I'm gonna keep counting them.
Anyway, so Jared Dog got 3rd, I got 2nd. It was a tight battle. I just faded at the end. I'd won it through 5 rounds. I was 1 stroke ahead through rated rounds. They pushed us.
Because you battled back with the huge 4th round.
Yeah. Well, 5th round, semifinals.
Oh, right. To force the final.
I had 2 good rounds at the LAL, super long layout, beautiful course, very endurance tested course. But Thorpe was giving me problems. And then the last round, the night before, I went and practiced the whole round by myself. I ate shit, put holes in my hands, fell down, just still here to show it.
Nobody makes him bleed his own blood.
No.
Yeah, I definitely bled some blood. It fell down. Working through the course, figured out a way to get an eagle, figured out a way to birdie certain holes, went back out, replicated that the next day, only had 1 bogey. Fought back, but they pushed us into a final 9. It was like 98 degrees in the wind. I battled through that. Everybody was making mistakes. It was up to grabs for anybody. Even Jared Dog could have came and got it. Battled back to get 1 stroke lead on the last hole, and I just had an uphill putt and a headwind, and I chained it out right. Didn't stick. Didn't go my way. Went to playoff. Pushed for that playoff. Threw a beautiful shot the time before on that hole that left me like 4 feet away from the basket. So I tried to do the same shot. Faded out. Homie knocks down. Big shout out to Hank Kerwin. Big shout out to him. He battled the whole weekend. Made a 50-footer on the first playoff hole, and I donked at like 25 and gave it to him. So that was definitely ailing me mentally. Those don't come easy. Nobody wins a world's easy. And I kind of gave that away. No disregard to him, but I kind of gave that away with my bad rounds at Thorpe before I went 1-1. I went -1, -1, -9.
People know Thorpe, again, like heavily, I wouldn't say heavily wooded, but plenty of trees.
Tricky lines, and they had it in a new championship layout, which I'm not a big fan of, like taking perfectly good courses. And because a local plays there all the time, they want to stretch it a little more.
We need a temporary tee pad.
Yeah, well, not temporary. No, they use the regular tee pads. They just
move the basket.
Well, yeah, and just some of them, and they combined a couple of holes and stuff. They're like, we have to make it harder. It's like the course is already hard. Like same thing this last weekend at Bijou. There's a couple of new holes that were like bro, what? And they didn't mow or anything, so it was real high grass and searching and everything.
B tier,
No, I'm not disrespecting them in any way. Like I gave them shout outs before. They were doing it. But it's such a big property for them to maintain. It's not like a public park. There's no company coming through. There's no local help. You know what I mean? It's just the certain disc golf guys that are out there making it happen. I think there were 2 greens weed whacked. The rest of it was like knee high, in the rough, but it made it play that way. But they had a couple new sleeves for that new championship thing where you're like, is this really necessary? Because there's already some really beautiful short holes that are so technical. If you miss a little, you're probably bogeying.
Yeah, I mean, you're a tree kick away from like a really tough scramble on basically all of those holes, even if it's like the more open ones.
So it definitely felt good to get back to that. Couples win, 7-time for us. This is our
7 times they've won the same tournament.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen a lot. I don't hear of it a lot. You know what I mean?
We got to check the books on that one.
Yeah.
I know we need a stat Mando for this. Somebody get us for sure.
I think we've been together as long as Juliana and Jim.
Right.
So
almost 3 years.
You have way more wins, right?
no, I don't know.
No, we don't know, but that'd be a great stat for us to have. You know what I mean?
Math on it.
Couple stats.
Hey, who can we take on?
We're all Team OTB. It's fine. We can figure this out.
But that's like stats.
And can we also make a plaque for the winner? I'm just saying, because I don't know. Like we've done it before. I've talked to Patrick about like we'll go and play the same tournaments with them, and we kind of want to do like, between us as a couple and them as a couple, combine our scores and see who beats who.
Definitely. Just how
just a little side bet. Talking to you, Juliana. Side bets.
All right, they're calling you out.
Yeah, calling you guys out.
JK's
they are our favorite couple of the run.
I was so impressed. I mean, I love y'all. Jim has played Beaver State playing less than a year after open heart surgery, and I think he won that MFR last year.
Well, what about Johnny?
Yeah.
How about Johnny McRae? How about the
US
Masters? Literally deadline going in and came back, and then he won US Masters last year.
I mean, if you didn't hear the story, what happened with Johnny, this is really interesting. So he's playing a tournament. His arm, she's in so much pain. He's kind of standing on a tee pad. There's a backup. And the person, I believe, the card behind him is a doctor, happens to ask him what his symptoms are, and instantly says, we need to get to the hospital right now.
You need to leave
right now. And so he does. And by the time he goes into the doors of the hospital, he flatlines, sorry.
Wow.
Flatlines. And they brought him back, and I think
and he's stronger than ever, better
later.
than ever. Guy plays like a savage. What did he shoot? He shot 16 down at Masters Worlds on the golf course. It was 25 miles an hour. Shout out to Johnny McRae, my hero, my friend for sure, for life. Road Dog, Gus Bus crew, all day long with Jen.
They used to travel together.
You guys don't even know. We traveled for many years together. I look to do it again. That guy is amazing. One of the best specimens of disc golf, period. I don't care, young or old. Disc golf doesn't know your age. You just need to spin it.
He's a thrower.
Oh, he's a thrower for sure. Baby.
Yeah.
He's a thrower. He's a putter. He's a turbo putter.
Right.
I mean, the guy's amazing. Yeah. I mean, other people don't know, but like Lyme's disease is a huge thing. So always check for ticks. Always check for ticks. He suffered from that, almost killed him, and he's back from that. So he almost died twice, and he's still back from it. Give it to my boy. He's a killer. He's insane.
Yeah.
He's got so many open wins. It's not even freaking funny, man. And people will try to talk about age and discredit us and different things. And like, oh, you're playing the Masters Tour. I'm like, come on over.
Yeah.
Come on over. You'll see. Like, it's not that easy. Every one of us has a spot in our game that is unlike anybody else's.
Yeah.
To where, like, you look at the national tour now, there's like the repetitives of everybody being like Paul or Ricky or whatever. And then there's like individuals like maybe Jake Hebenheimer, Eric Oakley, people like that, just like very different, but
Luke
still
Humphreys.
accomplishing things. Luke Humphreys. So casual.
Dub. Shout out Luke.
Yeah.
Big shout out for that new win. That's awesome. I love
first
to see that.
European Pro Tour.
I'm so proud of that guy.
European section of it or whatever.
And those guys are no jokes. Those courses are no joke.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, looking at himself is one of the
smashed. Those are 3 really good rounds.
He's just one of the best dudes too.
Isaac charging on that last day.
So, no joke. Isaac
Alden on his tail.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's one.
Well, and all the Europeans, I can't even keep up with them. There's so many. It's like I can't even keep up with the names. You know what I mean? There's so many of them.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you look at the property they're playing on, unbelievable.
This is beautiful.
I mean, I can't wait to get over to Europe to see some of this disc golf they've got, because these courses I'm seeing.
Take me to Finland for like
Sweden,
a year.
And in Finland.
Well, Finland, you got 500 courses, so that's almost a year.
We're doing the OTB Roadshow World Tour.
That's like it up. 2 to 3 courses just to knock it out before the year's end. I mean, they have 500 plus.
Alon Disc Golf Island property has, I think, alone 18 courses.
Okay, let's go right now.
Right,
that's just one.
Let's get on the caravan and go.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
Okay. So you've got the Mint sponsorship. You've got the Legacy. You got the OTB. Jenny, hit us with it. What do you got?
And Grip.
Yeah.
So RPM came to me, God, I want to say 5 years ago. And
New Zealand disc golf.
New Zealand. So yeah. Kind of got hooked up through Greg Barsby with them. NorCal style. They were
Barsby, that rings a bell.
Shout out, champ.
yeah, NorCal known Greg for a long time,
That's
but
good.
they were looking to sponsor someone, a girl, and he threw out some names, and so I ended up. My dad has a house over there, and so I ended up going over there and
over there in New Zealand.
In New Zealand, yeah,
that's nice.
Outside of Auckland, and so I cruised around and played a tournament there. Ended up winning, and it was really interesting because I don't know if they still do it. Back then, they combined. They didn't separate for divisions after the first round. They just did it pure score. And so I was on the lead card the second round, which was pretty cool. And they're like, we've never had a girl on the lead card. It was really fun. And then, I went and played his private course and just some of the nicest people. I mean, they're just amazing.
Simon
the whole
Feasy,
entire
shout out Simon.
Support their
So
company
nice.
just because they're good people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what other these disc golf, but they are just some of the coolest people. They're just kind of a small operation over in New Zealand and finally starting to figure out how to get discs over here in bulk. And and their plastic is amazing. And Pekka Pika. If you want to throw a disc from them, try out the Pekka Pika.
That's your go-to?
It's my go-to. It is fairway, but it's a fast fairway. It's just got a perfect stability. It's right in there for a good
9-speed.
Yeah. It's a great disc.
New plastic just came out. Some swirly plastic from RPM. It feels pretty good.
Yeah.
Some new special editions with the new Eric Oakley.
Yeah. Their plastic is beautiful. So to go through them, they're really nice people. But yeah, them obviously these people have they're all right, but OTB. Not like
I've heard of that.
Yeah, they're nice. And then Grip picked me up this year. Thank you, Patrick Brown. Shout out to Patrick Brown.
Shout out to Grippy Q. Been on my back for 14 years straight.
Yeah.
First company to ever pay me like a professional, and we're still going strong. And plus, I mean, the bags are incredible. So what do you got to say on that?
I still have my original one. It's like
she does. She actually.
I rocked
my
it.
friend Sean Scrooby actually has my original one from 2010.
You saw
still functional.
You saw my bag, my one that I recently just, I guess, semi-retired. The grip bag.
Yeah,
it was the A something. I don't even know what model it is because it was
maybe an A3.
I think it's about 10 years old.
It's an A3. I think.
Yeah, they don't fall apart.
No, it was still working.
Yeah, I have a default.
And they're warranted. They're lifetime warranted. So
I accidentally left mine out at
this is a good one.
And where were we? We were in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
we were in Wisconsin, and I was camping. This is like at the beginning of my tour, and I just didn't even think about it. I left my bag on the table. We're at this beautiful place.
The varmints got to it.
Yeah, they got into my nuts in my bag and ripped the zipper right open. So. Other than that, the bag is
they
beautiful.
ate through the zipper.
They did. It was a sad day.
When you see that on the markings around the trash can, that's
They have some powerful chompers.
Oh yeah, they went straight through it. That was where we kind of re-met.
Yeah.
I'd known about Patrick Brown in NorCal. I'd seen him around.
Oh, but that's
we'd had dinner with friends once, but it was like I on my travels, I was camping in weird places like Yellowstone, Yosemite. I wanted to hike these trails, and
she's a big
and then
hiker,
you done Half Dome?
Yes.
Yeah, she's done Half Dome.
Tell me about Half Dome.
Oh, this is a good story.
Yeah.
So I was actually at Turtle Rock. You know what, sir?
I'm gonna go get beer.
Yeah, beat it. I'm gonna take the mic because this is a great story.
It is a good story.
So I was at Turtle Rock actually playing.
With the beer run.
Yeah, playing just with some friends, and I get a call from my brother. So if you don't know, trying to get a pass to Half Dome is pretty much impossible.
Right.
You got to get in the lottery.
I'm just now beginning the process of investigating what it means, and I'm finding out that it's a hassle. And, and I think it's been a hassle, but I think like now currently post-COVID, and now we're in this like huge rush
of
like,
outdoors.
It's like a year. Well, no, it's like a year out. You have to like get your reservation. You have to continue.
So it's a lottery. So you basically put in what dates you want, and then they do these big chunks. And if you get picked, you pick. So there's some people who've been waiting 8 or 9 years.
I think you can't even get into the lotteries now because all the dates have already been.
Okay.
Determined. But anyways,
I threw my name in the lottery last year.
So it's a special hike.
Yes, it's we went during COVID.
Okay.
So the park was closed down, except for people who had that pass and one campground pass. So it was amazing. There was no buses. There was no anything.
Okay.
So we had the place to ourselves. It was the most magical time I've ever been in Yosemite. Anyways, so we had to walk. There's no buses. So we had to walk from our campground. Round trip, it was 23 miles.
Wow.
I'm in Turtle Rock. I have to drop my friend off in Grass Valley. I get a call at 5:00 in the evening.
This place, Turtle Rock, is not close to Yosemite.
No, especially while I have to road trip to Grass Valley and then down. So I go to Grass Valley. I come back down. I get there at 2 a.m. I sleep in my car. I wake up at 5 a.m. to do this trip. I stopped by 7-Eleven to get snacks. People train for months to do this hike. And I had
it's a 10 to 14-hour hike is what I saw.
Yeah. But so it ended up being 23 miles.
Without having to hike into the park.
Yeah. We had to hike from our campground. But I had like one of those, those backpacks that you get from like a baseball game or something like that. You know what I mean? They're like super thin paper, almost backpacks. They're really, really thin material. They got the drawstring on them.
Yes, I sell that, I think.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I had. And I had a little water bottle and that was it. And they're like, I thought they had a water filter. They didn't have a water filter. I had my disc golf shoes in my car, woke up 3 hours.
They told her there were water stations.
Yeah. I'm like, they're like, no, we're fine. And everyone's pounding my little water bottle to begin. Okay. Anyway, so we start hiking. The first part of it is straight upstairs for like 3 miles up to the top of the second falls. And then you got about 5, 6 miles of maybe 4 of switchbacks. And it's like starting to get hot. Right. And my brother's starting
one
to turn.
bottle between everyone.
This is pretty much where we're at. Everyone's out of water. So I start thinking there's a backpacking campground. We go over there and I beg people to use their filters, right? We fill up some water, we keep going. And we get to, once you get to the top of so you get to the second step of stairs, right? These stairs go up 45 minutes. Again, you get to the top of those and you're literally exhausted. And then you have to climb the cables of death.
So this is for folks who don't know, Half Dome, the last bit's on the sheer rock. And you're like, you don't actually connect yourself to the thing?
No.
Yeah, but you're holding on to cables.
You're holding on to cables.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually did. This little kid wouldn't do it. And I wouldn't do it because I was terrified. And I asked him if I could use his whole get up. And but my brother and everyone else, they just barged it. My brother actually went outside the cables because people were so terrified on those things. They were frozen and shaking, but then you're standing there holding on to dear life for like he was there for half an hour and
sounds great.
His body was falling apart. So he decided because
you're prepared.
You go on the outside. It's not like on the inside. If you fall inside the cables, you can still just slip off the rock in 5, 6. I mean, I think it's 5,000 feet up there. So
it's not cool.
Yeah. Once you get to the top. So yeah, he got to the top. When he came back down, he was white. It was so bad. He was so dehydrated. We had to get him down the whole entire rock.
Back in the bear.
Oh, thanks. I was getting there, but thanks for ruining it. Do you want to tell it? Do you want to go? I'm just kidding. So we finally get him. I had to beg people on the trail for water, for electrolytes. We were so unprepared. Got things in him so he wasn't like basically need to get helicopter out of there. So him and I.
Or fall down the mountain.
Right. Yeah. So we finally get back to the river. We get him cooled down, we get food and whatever. And so he's like, all right, I'm finally relaxed. I'm going to take a gummy. And he just takes a bunch of gummies because we got like this, we just got to make it back down the mountain. And our friends, they're younger. They're in their 20s. They're like, yeah, we're going to go back down the falls and like the steps. And we're like, we're going to take the longer route, the John Muir, but we're going to like mosey. And so we're cruising, gums are starting to hit him. And we're just kind of like taking our time.
And Jenny's sober the whole time.
I'm not cool enough to smoke weed and I don't drink.
No, but it's okay. I'm just saying party. You're dealing with a person that is not sober.
No, and we're exhausted. And so we're going down these switchbacks, which there's just rocks on both sides, and you're just kind of going down these switchbacks and there's no one. It's COVID. There's no one around. And this massive black bear. There's cute little black bears that kind of like look like big dogs.
Oh, roly poly.
This is like bordering grizzly, and and it just woke up from a nap, and it is like, and it's coming straight up
trail.
It's coming straight up the trail.
Her brother wanted to give it beef jerky.
Oh,
you're ruining my story. Why?
Because we're speeding it up.
This is a good story, though.
No, it's a great story.
So the bear's coming up the trail. Him and I are freaking out. He's like,
who else is on the trail? Just you and the bear?
Just me and my brother.
You're on the Mosey Trail. Yeah. We meet the bear.
There were some other people.
We couldn't, but honestly, like I'm looking back up and it's switchbacks and my body physically could not go up. And so I'm like, all right, we got to time this out right. The bear's going to hopefully not run straight at us and go around take the trail. So he ran out to the very corner, looks around the rock. Yeah, there's a bear coming. So we ran and we had to scale the in between the switchbacks. So that was like sheer granite. And it was like about, 100 and some feet down. And we're just slipping and sliding for our dear lives to get below the bear so it could cross above us. And finally did that. And like, I mean, our whole second time of the day that like the most adrenaline ever anyway. So we survived.
Pumping through you.
Yeah.
You warn the other people. Like
there was way up on the thing.
There's more people after them trying to take
there was more people way coming down. And I'm screaming after them. There's a bear coming towards you. And the little girl in the group, she goes, but it has a collar on. Like, it's not domesticated, if that's what you're thinking. It's not your
pet.
It is not.
You're close enough to see that the bear has a collar on.
Yeah.
You're too close to the bear.
Yeah, that is not a circus bear.
I have a lot of experience. But I know that much.
We know that much.
That was, So I highly recommend. I actually want to do the hike again. And, I want to do it prepared. It was definitely, I
want to do it with her.
3 hours of sleep, no water pump, no real backpack. It was,
I just got my first taste is why I bring it up.
It's
Yosemite.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Did you do the trail?
I did Upper Yosemite.
Okay.
We did.
Super fun.
We did that last year to finish our season. We're traveling back from Colorado area where a buddy of mine lives, Carl Klein, and we were just picking out
national park
because we have a pass. We always buy a national park pass, or actually we got gifted a national park pass. Shout out to Anya and Matt. So we were just making national parks the whole way. So we saw everything from storms in them to not. And then she found a spot and she's like, Friday night, we have a parking spot in Yosemite.
Not only that, an RV spot. In the valley.
So we jumped on that, got down, drove down in because we're like the Rialto. We're putting it to a test, drive it down in, drive it back out. They're trying to kill our RV. Shout out to Mom, Kathy.
It is. Yeah, that's got to be like 25 by now.
And Larry for the Rialto. Anyway, to keep the PB&J tour going and flowing, and have little Baxter with us, give him a little home.
That's right. Shout out Baxter.
So we went and got to see Half Dome with the sunset going on. We got to see a lot of bears frolicking in the distance.
We did.
We crossed
baby
like
bears.
a little walking path with the mom.
It was magical.
Super cool. That part of the tour and other people's animals is like our biggest thing on tour.
Yeah.
Not really the courses we play or the places we've been, but the people we met and the animals.
Because oftentimes y'all's shared pet, Baxter, is there on the road. He hasn't been traveling quite as much, right?
We try to leave him at home so he doesn't get stressed by being left alone.
There's a stress and then there's heat to consider.
I mean, this weekend he would have been left alone for like literally 10 hours out of the 12 we were on the course. Just not cool. At elevation, can't tell the heat. Don't know if we're going to get shaded parking.
But like we brought him to US Masters and they watched him at Tournament Central. He's a pretty easy dog to just hang out. They're like, leave him here. We
never would have thought that cats even would come into the consideration of like a good tour.
Right.
But honestly, like the menagerie that's developed on the Pro Tour.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible how well the cats are.
I'm telling you.
You need like whether significant other or not, you need like your animal in your life, emotional connection, physical connection, petting an animal and everything is just great for you as a human being. It's a calming feeling.
But it gets lonely if you're traveling by yourself, especially if you're a woman and you're out there and you don't want to spend money on if you're one of those road warriors and you're sleeping in Walmart parking lots and you go and you play and that's great. And then you figure out your food in your fridge and then all of a sudden you have all this downtime and you're by yourself and you're in a parking lot
you're paying for like a campsite that's overcrowded because it's summer, stuff like that. It's not the best scenario.
It's just it's a serious grind.
For us to find Yosemite coming on our way home with a Friday afternoon, that was awesome. That was epic. Just finished.
We went to was that the Rushmore? No. What parks did we go through all the way back home? We went through 3. We stayed at 3, but that's kind of our thing.
You guys are definitely taking advantage of the shared advantage of the resources, right?
Yeah.
Like, to experience the people, but like able to travel together. The contrast between touring now as a couple, maybe, or even 5 years ago solo, or 10 to 15, the comparison of what you learn along the way, and
it used to be all unity, so it didn't matter where you went. Everybody talked about who had the spot, who could hook it up, who could help. Nowadays, not to say we might not be in the scene with them, but it doesn't seem as unity wise. Like it doesn't seem like everybody's looking out for each other because everybody, as the world grows and gets bigger and the money's more, everybody's got to look out for themselves.
I feel like there's clicks, though. There are definitely clicks.
Like, I'm not discrediting it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not like it used to be. When I first went on tour, you needed anything.
Do you think that's a size thing in terms of like how many pros there were now touring versus how many pros then?
No, because they were just
same size tournament, right?
The same size tournaments. They were all full.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like you're going, it's like Ken Climo. They discredit Ken for like championships. I'm like, bro, the disc they were throwing with, the conditions of the course they played in, all that stuff is the same thing. It's just now you have better disc. So now it's like, you know, compared to a Honda, you have a Beamer. Like, okay, who's not going to win the race? Come on. I mean, we all have to work together. It's just there were so many skilled players then, same as there are now. I mean, he didn't go up against any simps. You know what I mean? There might not have been 20 of them. Because now, again, let's give it. The elite, there's only 10 elite. So where are we factoring all these other 30 players that factor in different weekends?
Right.
That doesn't put them on an elite status.
Has been a really interesting season because we've seen more first-time winners on the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
So it's not so much about the elite; it's just being able to play elite layouts.
A guy who, like Emerson Keith, who plays years and years and years, boom, finally gets the Elite Series. Presnell just took it down at Mid-America, plays for 7 years, boom, finally gets his first Elite Series. It's like
when you got 20-year players like Ulibarri, no Silver Series, but a great player, great human being,
great pro.
Yeah, great pro. Yeah. But you have to manifest at the time it's there for you. I've been there. I was lead card USDGC 3 days in a row. Idlewild. No, but at USDGC was a different story. When you win USDGC, you win a championship. You are a champion for life. Like I won worlds in the 50s. That doesn't make you like the world champ. If you win an open, it's open. I was there at 47 years old. Johnny McRae was 43 years old. We were both on lead card. That's a life-changing place. And we both made it there. Anybody can make it there. It's just like any of these non-elite people that they manufacture and they sell and they show. You have all these other great players. Aaron Gossage, right there, second place worlds under Macbeth. I mean, there's tons of them, you know? And it's not easy to manufacture a win. Like you can't just go out there and be like, I diagnosed it. This is how I'm going to break it down. This is how I'm going to play it.
I mean, look at
it all changes.
European Open. Let's look at Corey Ellis, right?
Right.
Again, he's a grinder. He's there. He's putting himself in top 10s, in top 5s.
But will he be the next Paul Macbeth?
He needed Anthony. He needed Anthony Barilla to have just a catastrophic hole.
Yeah.
Well, that type of hole in disc golf. Come on, man. We're not playing up and down. This isn't golf. We're playing disc golf. It's left to right.
We talked about the same scenario with Scott last week.
Like those type of holes. Yeah, I don't believe in that. I don't think that should not be a factor that changes an entire life, because that changes his entire life this next year.
Yeah.
If he won that, we all know as good as he is. If he won that,
I've been personally waiting for him to
get
one of these because he's, again, such a consistent.
He's up there.
I don't care if he's consistent or not. That dude throws unbelievable freaking shots.
I guess not even that he's consistent. It's right. It's the throwing. It's like the unbelievable. Like he can have the hot round at any given time. Is my point.
Yeah.
Which is the ability for him to see and look past. Like there is a thing like Paul. Everybody's done it. Simon. Look at Simon lately in the last couple of years. We're gonna bring it back. Let's contain it. Let's refine it. Let's manufacture a game plan. Anthony still has that let's go get it.
Wild style.
Right. You know, that goes beyond. I watched him show off a shot at the OTB 3 years ago, because we've missed it the last 2 years, unfortunately. Sorry, OTB.
Sorry.
But
we're going to get him back here, folks.
Yes, we'll be back. I don't care how my age, I'm still going to try. But he threw a shot that I swear to God was 700 feet on a flex Annie, and he was pin high to a hole. Nobody got there. Nobody can get there, and he did it. To see somebody go outside of themselves and make something happen in this game at this day and age of all these people playing containment golf, which is smart for the money, for the sponsorship, for the whole thing, the rating. But you know, AB just has shots that other people don't have. Correct. Drew was there. Hopefully he comes back from the surgery. Big shout out, Drew. First kid I ever took on tour. I mean, great human being. Unbelievable snap of the Frisbee. That's beyond the normal golfers you see. And now we see 50 of those normal golfers that have this golf stride, golf stroke. But then you see these wild arms and these people like Simon Eagle, Anthony Barella, Drew Gibson, Gannon, Burr. Calvin Heinberg, straight line, best straight line throw I've ever seen. I used to be the best, and I will take that and say it myself. He is the best straight line thrower I've ever seen in the game with an overstable Frisbee.
I was so happy to be present there at Jonesboro when he took that playoff hole down last year.
I love to see Calvin win.
That's such a good shot.
We
Such a
root
good
for
shot.
so many people. I love all the kids on the tour. Big shout out to Corey.
Should we do it? Shout out Calvin.
I know.
Yeah, shout out Calvin for
So
sure.
many shout
We'd have to shout out every pro I just named, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying Corey Ellis is a good human being. He's a humble human being.
For sure.
He's a kid growing up in the game. He's got a wife. He's out there working. He's not just playing to play, and he's there. You know what I mean? He did it. He made it. That's awesome. Big shout out, Corey, for sure. That's so great. And our boy Luke Humphreys, he just pulled it
Luke.
off. You know, Luke. Own. Thank God. Own. Thank you so much.
Right.
Greatest human being in disc golf. I swear to God. Best personality.
You know what's interesting about this? So I'm sure that people notice this, but I'm really good friends with Owen. We play a lot of practice rounds together.
A couple Owen stories in here, and then we'll see if Stanley's still with us.
He was sleeping.
So we played the Safari together. This is maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we're playing the whole time. And of course, she's whooping on me or whatever, and my putting just wasn't coming together, and I was just struggling. And Owen's such an uplifting person. I look at her and I'm like, God, Owen, my putting's really sucking today. And she goes, yeah, you know what? Your putting really sucks.
You suck.
I mean, just dead.
That's a motivator right there, people.
Your putting sucks.
Don't tell it to yourself, but let somebody else tell you.
I mean, it was just straight face. Your putting sucks.
A boss told you.
Your putting sucks. And I went,
and then
you're
she
right.
hit that putt on 18.
That was brutal.
If you haven't watched the video, go back to the final hole for the ladies there at San Francisco Safari.
It's amazing.
Safari, ridiculous.
Yeah, it was what 70, just
in the wind.
I'll be behind it. Might as well give it a bid, and she gave it a bid.
I mean, she didn't even know how.
She didn't give it a bid. She gave it a shot. That shot was in.
If you noticed at her interview at Mid America, and this speaks for who Owen is, all she could talk about was how good how good Alexis was.
Yeah,
I mean, it was just.
She never spoke upon herself.
She's humble, but she has the confidence, and she has the mental fortitude. When she's out there, a lot of women have self-doubt. It's kind of ingrained in us. It just really is.
A lot of humans,
but when we're on the course, our brains, me and Juliana were talking about this, a really big factor between men and women on the course that's not talked about is that men seem to have this not just confidence, but they have this extra drive on them. They could snap into this extra drive. It's almost primal. And it's like
in a good and bad way.
In a good and a bad way. But women don't have that. Women have this this kind of pullback doubtfulness. When you have these, a couple bad shots, we're really fighting mentally out there. We're really we're just spinning, and we're just trying to stay on top of our thoughts. And I'm sure that men do the same thing. And I would love to hear, a layout of both of it. But Owen doesn't. She might get nervous a little bit, but
such a good reset.
I mean, every single time she throws with confidence, but it's like she really believes in herself. And those putts, I mean, you can tell she rarely misses putt
confidence
because, and it's just really ingrained in her, and it's beautiful to watch. And man, she practices like crapola. And it's like she tricks me every single time because we practice together, and I'm like, man, I kind of beat Owen today. Like I did good. And then we go and play, and I'm like, all right, you just threw it 70 past every single drive in practice. Like, what was that? She goes out, she learns the lines. She doesn't really. And then when she has this mega focus, but she is just the most loving, caring person. She really is. She cares about everyone on the course. She's there to have fun. She's playing disc golf for the right reasons. And
one of the highest Q ratings in the game for sure.
Yeah. And she's 42 or 41. Yeah. I mean, she's
42 and could beat anybody in the field on the day at the right course for sure. She's got it. The thing is with her, she never gives up. Yeah. She's a person that's telling herself that she loves herself. Like you got to love yourself first, right? Because if you don't love yourself, where do you manufacture anything?
Love life.
I have her in a video. I was staying with her at her house, and I was just
talking
talking about this. This is a great video, and she didn't know I was recording her, and I was just asking her questions. And she was just talking about, she loves her life. She loves her family. She loves her husband. She's just,
shout out, Justin.
She appreciates everything. And I think it stems from her coming from absolutely nothing. She comes from nothing. She is from a little island, and they don't have anything. And so
she has taken full advantage of her opportunity.
She has drive. And that girl works harder than anyone else. When you at Worlds, she plays 2 rounds. She putts for 2 hours every day.
And then, she plays around, putts, takes a break, eats lunch, goes and plays around again in the worst heat of the day. Yep. Then she goes home and putts 200 putts. So for all those people that think you're doing it, no, 200 putts.
Okay.
She said 200 putts. Same with Johnny. I'm telling you, if all those people that want to be different, go work on your craft. This is if you want to be in the business of it, you need to work on your craft. If you're just trying to go play, do what you do, throw what you throw, that doesn't matter. But if you're trying to be professional, you need to put in the time, because you only get what you give.
Yeah.
All right. And we got to keep giving back to this.
And she's one of those people that she doesn't have a normal form by any means. She goes left to right, right to left on everything. She rarely just pops.
She doesn't throw center strikes.
She finds a way to go left or right. She'll find a weird window on the right hand side, so she doesn't have to go.
She trusts her stuff.
She knows her craft.
She believes, that's for sure. She's
shout out to believer. Own.
Yeah, big shout out.
I'm excited to have y'all here because y'all are a couple of pros. And y'all can show us how it's done, and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
No, we appreciate you guys.
This is the fun.
Best. Danny's always been cool with me. We've always grown. Danny. Craig, everybody. It doesn't matter. Everybody's good here. You know what I mean?
I remember showing up to NorCal tournaments with Danny pulling out his truck.
Oh, here's what I want.
Things out of the trunk. You know.
You had your round at Stockton. You have a memorable round at Oak Grove, don't you, Patrick?
Oh yeah, a few.
Yeah. You want to talk about that, and then we'll close it up?
Ooh, that's a long memory for me, so she might be better on that one. I'd have to talk about it now.
That was Solinsky Masters, or
oh yeah, that's true. My first my first major. Yeah, Tim Solinsky. Yeah, we played a golf course or something I'd never seen, and I popped off a crazy score, which got me in the lead, which actually has still continued for all my winnings of the U.S. Masters. I've always led it, whether 1 stroke or 9 strokes. I've led it from the beginning to the end, wire to wire. So that's a big factor in my U.S. Masters for sure. It's just been get the lead. Pete Cashin, shout out Pete Cashin, godfather of Kansas golf, unbelievable human being. I mean, this guy is the best host. Not to hate on anybody else, but he is the top-notch host.
Catering, pool, hot tub, massage chairs.
Everything. Best Italian. This guy hosts you. He told me, Patrick, just lay down, play it as it comes. Don't try to be a hero. And I started with 1, went to 6, went to 9, went to 13. I won my first Worlds. So shout out to Pete Cashin, one of the best human beings. Everybody that's a real touring pro, knows Pete Cashin.
Yeah.
Of Kansas
They've
City.
all stayed there. He's got a wall of frisbees like
this. I think I have just actually seen some footage from this guy's house.
Yeah. He has like window boxes.
And there's the pool.
The hot tub, basketball.
I think the boys just passed through
baskets everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I think the GTA guys just passed through.
I guarantee his house was packed for the one in Kansas City.
He's one of the, I've been around this country. I've had a lot of great hosts. Shout out to all of them.
And all their animals.
And all their animals for sure. But Pete is the man. He is a great human being.
That's what it comes down to. I shouted out Chainbangers at the top, but it's the Frisbee family.
It is. It really is.
Oh, the fam bam is real.
Together.
The fam bam is real.
To go back to your question, you said the difference between people touring now and touring back in the day. I think that back in the day it was like, you throw frisbees, you're one of me, we're all together, let me bring you in, let me whatever. And I feel like now on the pro tour, there's a bit of a, I wouldn't want to say like cool
compartmentalization.
Yeah, they really stick to their little circles, or or just their couple or their whatever. And it's really like, I don't know if because it's more of like a popularity thing where they have lots of fans, or I'm not quite sure. But back in the day, yeah, when you're traveling to a tournament,
I just feel like it's so weird now with people, like everyone's developing a brand. Everyone's
stop
in
with
this competition at the tournament and in this competition just in your life, making your life interesting, for your quote unquote fans or for your
right,
whoever,
it's a whole different world. 15 years ago to now,
sponsor, for whoever.
But it's good. The sport is growing.
It is,
sure. And the game is growing, and it's getting insane to see like the development of play. It's been the same for years. You just didn't get to see it. For so many years, we had the one group's getting filmed. It's lead card only. Well, maybe that lead card didn't show everything that like now they're starting to catch on to what I said. Like, let's film whoever's hot on that day.
They jump around.
Let's jump around and see. Let's film the signature hole and see who does the best. Get the ace, Maple Hill, hole 8, so on. So nowadays, I think the kids also have to like identify with other people because they're kids. And they're all forced to be out there and like trying to learn how to like live, eat, survive, and deal with
interesting. It's unique sport in that regard.
Gannon just took second, right?
Yeah.
And he said he didn't have a chance to get to the course because his mom wasn't available to drive him. We're talking about kids at the highest level.
He just graduated high school, folks.
Yes.
Yeah.
He throws farther than you.
And he doesn't have a license yet.
He doesn't have a license
No.
yet.
Yeah.
But this is where we're at with like how well the sport is growing and kids can develop. It's like skateboarding. It's like anything nowadays. I mean, if you look at all these sports,
the talent is peaking.
The talent is it's going to keep peaking too. It's going to get better and better. If you start bringing the Japanese into more courses like we have to play than like what they have to play, they play on little squares that are marked out with different colors. That's hard play. It's all positioning and touch. Like if you bring them over here and they learn, it's just like Finland and the Europeans.
Oh, we're starting to get some Europeans that are
right. There's just kids that are so dominant. They get the chance and they get the weekend because that's what it comes down to. Is to continue playing with confidence until your time happens. You know, you put in and you get there and you make it happen because it's still going to be so hard to win. I don't care how good you play, you still have to win. Final putt.
This is a total side note, but there was these two women that I played with at Worlds, and Katka and what was her name? I'll think of it in a second. I mean, they look like they went to the school of Kristen Tatar. You know what I mean? Just this robotic, crazy, beautiful form. I don't know what they're doing over in, I think Estonia. They were from Estonia. I mean, do they have a school or something? Because these women,
the majority of Finnish school children identify disc golf as their favorite sport.
Really?
That's awesome.
That's insane.
That's awesome.
But yeah, these women were just insane.
Because that's what I'm saying. People start to mimic, and they can because now you can see it. Back in our day, I watched videos of Steve Rico, the PDGA Tour Championship. It'd be 12 events on one VHS tape.
That's 2003 Japan Open out there. You want to watch that?
This is how I learned to play disc golf because of skateboarding. You get videos that pop out. And you see the new trick. You go and practice it. You learn it. Same thing happened with me. I watched people throw drivers and then somebody throw a mid-range and Steve Rico throw a putter and park a hole. And it's like, oh, okay, this is how straight and doable and like learning the height and line and usage of the Frisbee compared to like, this is so fast or this is whatever, so overstable, let's beef it and just crank it. You had to learn touch. And that's how I learned to play disc golf was just off videos alone, especially of Steve Rico.
I didn't have a video or you. I had to undo what I had done for 10
Literally,
years.
this woman has come from a thumber, a Spikeiser putter approach, no matter what the hill angle is. And
no angles.
And
Kaiser clip.
Putted with a squall.
I putted with a squall.
She putted and threw a squall, mid-range putter.
I'm 43 now, and I'm probably playing the best golf that I've ever played.
Right. And I was 40.
And it's just because of form. It's all because of form and just learning like to just keep your form and know your lines. And
so for everybody out there, closing note for anybody out there,
it's not too late.
It's never too late. It's never too late. That's only in your mind. The disc does not know your age. All you have to do is spin it. But women, children, men, whatever, it doesn't matter. You can learn to change your form, and form counts for everything. If you watch baseball, if you watch golf, if you watch basketball, it's all about your form. So work on form, self-video,
get you distance.
Get your kid, your family, your kids, doesn't matter. Get them to videotape you.
66, everybody can throw it.
It's true.
Yeah. So if you work on yourself, you can progress in this game no matter what. I've seen the worst forms be transformed into a form that'll work functionally for this.
Speaking of form, you guys can hook people up, right?
Yes.
For sure.
We definitely do lessons. We have, Instagram accounts and Facebook accounts. You can always send us messages on there.
PB Tour Life for my Instagram. Reach me there.
Jennifer Dene.
We'll throw some links at the bottom of this video.
We'll throw some links on
we
that.
Do lessons.
But definitely hit us up. We do couples. I just set up a couples event that's going to be with a new woman that's playing 2 months, and her husband I played with, and he stayed on lead card this year or this last Bijou event. And he threw the nastiest sidearms. He threw a 505-foot sidearm, parked a hole. We couldn't find his disc because it was so close to the basket. And he was like, but he needed some training, needs some work, and we're going to work with them. We're about to go to Hawaii. Shout out Hawaii.
Let's go.
We're going to go there for
take
3
some time
weeks.
off.
Sorry,
14,
Pro Tour, but
14 years. I have to take some time to myself and to Jenny. The family members just bought a house. We're going to go help fix it up for them.
Very good.
Also do some lessons, clinics, and a one-day event where I'll be giving away a brand new grip bag to the winner. we're just trying to spread love to it. That's where we're trying to give back and also take some time for ourselves, because I've never in 14 years taken time off. And so I feel this year is mentally I need to do that to help myself.
It was a toss up between, it was like, I kind of proposed, I looked at him and I said, what if we didn't play Pro Worlds? And I know that was a really hard one, but it was like, we'd get our money back, which is $400. We could, we had an RV spot, which was $700. And it was just kind of like, we could take that and we could go just reset mentally. And I think that's huge, resetting. If you're grinding for that many years, gets repetitive, whatever. And I said, let's just go be human and just relax and wake up and eat breakfast and not have to run to a course or whatever.
I put a lot of pressure on myself.
I
try to be the best that I can be. So I practice probably too much. Drew Gibson actually just sent me a message the other day, said I practice more than any professional that he knows, especially for my age. And I will not stop just because I'm trying to be the best that I can be. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean you have to win every event. That doesn't mean you have to win at all times. So it's like I'm learning to relax into it.
Win throw to throw, right?
Yeah. Throw to throw, shot to shot. What is this? What's the next adventure?
The 3 Bs.
Well, 3 Bs, but also what's the next adventure? I feel like this is going to send you, because some of these par fours, you're sending a disc on an adventure, bro. You're not just getting the easiest shot. You know what I mean? So, especially where we played this weekend, they had us playing some holes.
But we had combined, we won by 50 strokes.
Yes, we definitely won.
I beat my division by 30, I think. And
I just wish I'd have been an open just because that, but it doesn't matter, Hey, if it was the king of the lake, I won it, and she won queen. That's for sure. So we'll take it, and we appreciate you, Greggy Biscuits.
You're definitely the king and queen of the Morning Round podcast. Welcome, and thank you again for being here. I think that's pretty much it. Let's do some shout outs.
Oh no. Okay. I feel like we have done
my last shout outs, but you guys know what's up. It's Legacy Disc, it's Grip EQ, it's OTB for show, and then I've got Strong John extracts. Keep the mind right and keep it tight.
And
Mint. Well, I have a collab with Mint. It's not really a sponsorship, but I love collaborating with them. I love those guys. They're just good humans. But Legacy, on top of all of it, it's like they believed in me when a lot of people didn't.
Get a Patriot, y'all.
Yeah, definitely hit up OTB on the site. They have the best Patriots on the market right now.
Patrick Browns.
The Patriots are unbelievable. Crack them on Annie. They'll still come out. You will love it. Check it out.
Jenny, lay it on us.
My shout outs. Well, obviously RPM. I love those guys. We got OTB and Grip, best bags in the business. Mostly I want to shout out my mom and dad. My mom, when COVID hit, and my dad said, I'll pay for your tournaments. And my mom, fixed up whatever I needed and helped me out whenever I needed it. And so it was like,
let's go Umsteads.
On some of my shirts, I have like a little deer. And then I have a little like mustache, because my dad rocks a mustache, and it says Team Papa, because they just helped me kind of change, my mentality and try to.
She could have gone straight to work, and she went to work on the courses, and she's getting better every day. And I'm super proud of her.
Yeah. So I'm sure there'll be a tipping point where I should go get my master's, but I'm having fun until then. So
she can work on this till then. We can adventure.
All right, and we'll work on this couple's grudge match with you guys.
Oh, Juliana.
Oh, we got to find that out. A course to play or something.
I think Bud Hill Masters is where we all play next together. Okay. So we can
do some stats on that.
We mentioned the Masters Tour a few times. Callie,
McMorrin. Love her. Thank you. Sorry we haven't been able to make all of them.
We keep dropping your tournaments.
We've had to drop out of a few of them.
That's important.
We're supposed to be at Maple Hill, which we're going to miss Maple Hill. We're going to miss
Worlds.
We'll see you in North Carolina.
Worlds. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to miss Worlds, but it's
Hawaii.
the first time.
But Hawaii.
Yeah,
y'all we have to Virginia and play a course with me after North Carolina.
Yes, if we can. That sounds awesome.
I've never played in Florida. We're going to play in Florida for the first time.
We're going to go up and then down.
Yeah. We have to go to Florida because I need to spend some time with Johnny. Shout out to Johnny and Jen. I just need to play there. I only have North Dakota, Maine, and Florida. That's it on my list. I don't promote all the stats and post all that, but I've been way around, obviously, in the last 14 years of Pro Tour. But I want to see states that I haven't been to and play an event, an actual sanctioned event, not like doubles or league or whatever.
And what better place to do that?
Got 50 Florida. States, that little guy.
I'm so
That
close.
little guy.
But does he have a Y? See, because all I'm missing is
Does
I
he
think
have
he just
Belize?
got all of them.
Belize, it's
Well,
not
we're
in the
talking about
50
states right now.
states. Yeah, I
Outside
know.
the
I know.
Yeah, we did play in Belize.
If
And
you
we
guys
did
played
a couple of
Prince
clinics
Edward Island yet?
after we got robbed
Ooh.
at
You
gunpoint.
should come
But
up to this-
isn't that one
come up to this
awesome,
mini
right?
open. I'm gonna, I'll be there. Come on.
Isn't that the one that's like
It's
you
super
go
fun.
to like you take a ferry
We're-
or whatever and you stay on
Yeah,
an
there's a
island?
bridge, there's a ferry.
Gotcha.
We're not playing Hillcrest this year.
Okay.
We're playing Rose Valley, but Rose Valley is awesome.
So one more shout out, Greggy Biscuits.
Yeah.
The man, this dude's always been there for me. Helps
We
me with
love
my
this guy.
orders, helps me with my disc. See him on the road. Great people. This is what disc golf is about: is
Yeah.
unity between just different people.
Hey, and when I needed help, PB hit me up in Austin. We hung out. We didn't get our round in, but we had a good chill.
Well, it rained like
It rained
crap
on us. Yeah.
But oh wait, we played it.
We have played a Live Oak.
We
Yeah.
did play a Live Oak.
Yeah.
Shout out to Live Oak. Awesome spot. If you're in Austin, go to Live Oak.
Yes. for
Super
sure.
fun course.
Doosan.
Great beers. Doosan
dude.
is the freaking man. I held back on that one, as you could tell. But
Yeah,
All right,
good.
well,
I don't think
I think
cussed,
our
like, the
I think
whole
our
time.
shout out counter is somewhere in the triple digits now.
Ooh, that was a good
that's
one.
all right. You got to shout out to
We got
people
love.
that
Yeah. We
got
deserve
love
it.
to
We have
give.
tons of love.
Shout out
All
to
right
shout
here.
out.
All right, we're gonna keep the
All
party
right here.
going. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. This has been an afternoon edition of Morning Round with Greggy Biscuits. It's the OTB Pod Net. We got Patrick Brown. We got Jenny Umstead. We got the
Hello.
beatbox. You are you. I am me. Peace.
Yep. Love you guys.